Hello YouTube friends, I'm back with another in the little series of making things for the baby, and so this time we're going to make a little hat. Now the last time I made the trousers and I had some of this double gauze left over in this lovely green colour. Now I've got a couple of things that I'd quite like to make with this, but the first one I'm going to give a try is this little bonnet. Now I'm going to use this for the lining of the hat, so it's nice and soft against the baby's head. And I've just been through my Liberty drawer and I've chosen this colour here, which it's the best I could come up with. I liked it with this. I wasn't 100%. I still do like it, yes I do. So we're going to use this for the outside of the baby's little baby hat. This is a download that I found online. I'll leave a link in the description below. On Etsy, I think it was. I paid a few dollars for it and it was an instant download, which means that, you know, as soon as I printed it out, I could be making it straight away. With those downloads, the way that you can really trust the patterns is to check that the size hasn't distorted with your printing. Usually they print an inch square here, and if you line that up with your ruler, it should be exactly 1 inch on your when you measure it, and that gives you then the confidence to know that the piece that you're making is going to be the right sizes. Now, spoiler alert, I've already made 2 of these in the first size, so I'm going to make the larger size now with you today. So the first thing I'm going to do then is cut out. I've printed this, covered this first page 2 or 3 times so that I can cut out the pattern piece that I want. It's good to have the different sizes. So this is, it says 12 months to 18 months, but it depends how big your baby's head is. Baby's heads can be surprisingly big. So I'm going to cut out the largest size of this one then, and we're going to make this pattern. Now I'm going to leave the link to this in the description below, but having made it already, there is a mistake. I'll tell you that when we get to it. And the first time, as I say, I've made this a couple of times already, and the first time I didn't know, obviously I discovered the mistake in making it, and I did waste some Liberty material, which made me really cross. So that's the size that we're going to cut, the biggest one. And what we also need is the center panel, okay? So this is the pattern piece for the center panel, and this is where the mistake was. This was too short, so you need to make this quite a bit longer. In fact, I'd make it quite a bit longer. You can always trim it, but you can't add on to it. So we need 1 piece of that and 2 pieces of this. And if your fabric has a direction to it, you need to make sure that those pieces face one another. So I've got these scraps here. This fabric hasn't got a direction, so that's absolutely fine. And these are the scraps from having made the little baby trousers, which, you know, I'll leave a link to up here somewhere. So I need 2 of these. I'm just going to angle you down so that you can see. I can get these pattern pieces out of the little scrappy pieces here. So I'm going to get 1 pattern piece there. With the Liberty, this is a nice big piece so that I can get the pieces I want. But here, I'm just going to be squeezing these in where I can. Okay, so I'll cut 1 of those. And then this longer bit here, which was the bit where I cut for the trousers, I'm going to cut this center panel. And I'm going to cut it as long as I can because it definitely was the wrong size. Wow, now what we've got then is one little bit of a bonnet there, one little bit of a bonnet here, and a cat here. There you go, sit there, thank you. Paying close attention, Norma? Yes, she is. Just let everybody else see as well, though, thank you. Okay, we'll put that seam and that seam together. And just let me get this the right way round. Yes, it's that seam that we're going to leave undone, so that we can turn it inside out. Okay. But then, of course, we've got the chance to put the ties in so that they are caught on the inside here. So I'll just pin all this down here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Get back to you when I've pinned it all. Okay, so that's all pinned now, right sides together. I'm going to take these two ties here and what I'm going to do, I've made them much longer than I need them to be, but I'm going to roll them up like this. And this is so that I don't catch them when I'm stitching them on the inside. Because I want to put these ties inside here. I'll take that pin out. I'll show you what I'm doing. So I've rolled that tie up. I'm going to pop it between the layers here. And I'm actually going to pin it down so that it won't get caught. It won't get caught when I'm doing the other stitching, because all I really want is that one piece sticking out. Okay, so I'm going to put a little pin there to keep it out of the way. Now I'm going to line this tie up to this edge. I'm going to take it 1/4 inch from the side there, and when I get to that bit there, it's going to come out of the bottom of the hat, and I'm going to go backwards and forwards there a few times so that that's nice and stable. And as I say, I've made the ties much longer than they need to be, so we don't need to worry about them. Just poke it out of the way there, put another pin, plenty of pins, and I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. Okay, just so that we get rid of the excess. And that's the only bit I need, is that bit there. Now, what I'm going to do now then, starting here, at the base here, I'm going to sew all the way around the whole hat, and then we're going to turn it inside out and give it a really good press. Now when I get to this bit where the first tie is, I'm going to take the pin out, but I'm going to position it really carefully so that it's in exactly the place I want it to be. And it hasn't slipped at all. It has slipped, in fact. So I'm just going to lift that up, make sure that it's at right angles to the piece and about 1/4 inch. Then I go backwards and forwards a lot, because that little place there is going to take a lot of strain when it's being used. So now I'm just going to go 1/4 inch all the way around, making sure that the seams match with the seams. So now we're going to turn it round the right way. Take out those 2 little pins that were holding the ties in place, cut off the loose threads, put it a little further back. So this is the space that we left open here. I'm going to turn this inside out now. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm just going to trim that little corner there so that there's a bit less bulk in that corner there. I'll do the same on the other side. Trim off the excess there, and then inside out we go. Norma's excited, aren't you? Yes. So there's the first little tie there, and the other little tie. I'll give that a little tug. I've moved along a little bit so that Norma's got the little bit that she wants there. Okay, where's the hole? There. So I'm just going to poke my scissors in the hole so that I can make that corner really, really tidy. And the same on this side, because I can pull the little string, the little tie, and then I'm just going to poke that corner out neatly there. But now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just make sure that the edges are rolled as far out as they can, and then I'm going to give the whole thing a press. Now, one thing I could do, and I may do this, I could top stitch it all the way around the outside, or I could just give it a really, really good pressing. We'll have a look and see what it looks like. So there it is with the green on the outside, and here it is with the soft on the inside. So I think a good pressing will help sort everything out here. Yeah, I'll press it now. Now at this point here, the open bit here, I just have to make sure that that is pressed in line with the rest of it. So here it is with that little back bit sewn up now. I've left the ties as that long because we'll try it out and see how long the ties need to be. And I've got this, which is a very, very poor substitute for my granddaughter. And so that then is how that's going to fit. And then that's the second size. And I made these 2, which are for a much smaller baby, with pink on the inside and this lovely Liberty on the outside, and this one which is grey on the inside and this nice grey sort of Liberty here. So I'll try and get some pictures of these actually on the little girl when she's born, but for now we've got 2 little hats and 1 next size up hat, and that's today's sewing for my granddaughter. I'll put a link to the pattern below. It's a little bit fiddly, you have to sort of fiddle on trying to get everything to lie nice and flat, but there it is. Wear it that way out or that way out, depending on what kind of mood you're in. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time I'm sewing something for the baby.